Gauge just some of the struggles defensively, just kind of what did you see that was happening out there?
I think one thing is definitely communication. A lot of defense is talking, and make sure everyone's talking, and we just didn't have enough talk tonight. And I'll put that on me because I'm the leader of the team, and I got to make sure these guys are talking because we got to get it done together. So we did not get it done together collectively as a team, and so We'll get it back, we have 3 days till the next game, so first game of the season, and it's a long season, so do what to look forward to.
Gauge a lot of fouls on both sides tonight.
Yeah, new season, new reffing, they got the new rules in place, so we don't really know what's what, so it's just kind of getting used to that and knowing what we can get away with and what we can't get away with.
You said communication. It's a team with a lot of guys that have played together for a couple seasons now. Did you notice something coming into that? Was it just mixing in some of those new guys? Or?
No, I don't think it was that. I just don't think we played as a team collectively. So I think once we get on that, we're all one, and we start moving the ball. I think we're going to open up a lot more. So I'm not worried.
Do you think you were struggling to play as a team in the practices leading up to this at all?
We've had great practices. Just sometimes some things just don't translate to the games, and that's why we have practice for So we got to go back, go to work, and be better as a team.
How's you were limping a little bit?
I had cramped up, so I'm fine.
Gage, just talk a little bit about Donovan Clay got the start because of Herbie's injury situation. His play, and were you guys able to really kind of work together, maybe a little bit offensively at least?
I get that our offense was on tonight, but everything falls in the defense because we can win a lot of games if we scored 94 points, however many points we scored. But we gotta do it on the defensive end. We gotta hold guys to 40 plus, 40 minus. So.
Gage, you were 12 of 16 from the free throw line. How important was that to you to be able to get to the line and instead of make those free throws?
Free throws win games and lose games. I'm thinking to myself, damn, I missed 4, so what could have happened? So I was defending number 1-on-1, so we just kind of get thinking like that. So we just got to make one of them next time.
You guys come out of that happy with the offensive performance. You scored 94 points, but you still see you get I think you got out rebounded in there. 7 of 26 from the 3-point range. I know you're not taking too many of those, but what do you think of just kind of collectively offensively today?
I think offensively and defensively we can play together as a team, and we scored those points because we just got guys that can score the crap out the ball. So they're going to do that because that's what they do. Like Zay, Donnie, maybe Jalen, Devontae, even Harvey. So, but once we become one on offense and one on defense, I think we're going to turn this around. So I'm not too worried about it.
You say you're not too worried. Just what makes you say that?
Because these guys, I think it's a lot of on-court chemistry. It helps a lot, but it's really off the court. And how we band together. We're always hanging out, so we're gonna get it right. So I'm not too worried about it anymore. So.
You mentioned the refs are calling the game differently a little bit. I know it was a 1-game sample size. Do you think they let you play more or less than you did last year?
Maybe not play more or less.
The physicality.
I think for physicality-wise, it was probably the same as last year. I think they're giving a little bit of tick-tack with the guards. I don't know. It's just the new rules, new whatever it is. We just got to get used to them because everyone's got to play with them.
Obviously, not a good night for us. Just a very, very poor display. You guys can go ahead.
Defensively, we talked to Gage, and he just said there was a lack of communication. What do you see on that end of the floor?
Well, number one, it starts with the other side. We did not play smart team offensive basketball for whatever reason. Pretty uncharacteristic for our team. Even our returners and the way they practiced and the way we've scrimmaged. So it put a lot of pressure on our defense, and we're just not built to be able to defend you know, that type of way. We've got really big wings, and Gaige is not a big-time athlete. Our guards are a little smaller, they're not big guards, but we've got to do a better job of not putting our defense in such a tough situation. And so we're not a rotating team, if that makes any type of sense. And they drove it hard. I mean, they drove it hard. They were just better.
You mentioned kind of uncharacteristic for your team to play like that. Was there any inkling that that could happen moving into the game?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, this team has shared the ball. Our scrimmages, I mean, both. I mean, one scrimmage we had like 28 assists. We share it every day. I'm not 100% sure what that was, to be quite honest. There's a thin line between playing with confidence and playing borderline reckless. And I think we had a little bit of that in the first half.
How big of a surprise is that to you? And this is a group you bring back from a year ago that was playing well towards the end of the year, and it just comes out in this way tonight.
Well, just because they played well, you know, X amount of months ago, that's got nothing to do with how they approach today. They practiced great. They were locked in for shoot around. I mean, we scored 94 points and didn't win a game at home. I mean, you gotta guard somebody. You gotta get a 50-50 ball. You gotta do it without fouling. They just didn't play well on defense.
And you say that, I mean, you said that the offense was uncharacteristic, which kind of led to some of the bad defense, but you guys still scored 94 points and 7 of 26 from 3. Doesn't look good, but it just kind of, it wasn't more just kind of, what was it defensively that was just really stuck out?
Well, you got to guard the ball, number one. If you know, I've been around a lot of good coaches, and there's one that would tell me all the time, if you can't guard the ball, nothing else matters. And we can't guard the ball. I mean, we just got driven time after time after time, and then you got to guard it without fouling. And so, man, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do on defense, and it starts with me. I got to put them in a better position defensively. Maybe you know, we pressured pretty hard there in the first half. Maybe that's not quite where this group should be.
Gaige kind of kept you in the game a little bit from the free throw line. I mean, he had 12 of 16. Of course, he's upset about the 4 that he missed, but you guys got the line a lot. But they did too.
Yeah, I mean, we knew the game was going to be called tight. We had the head of officials in to speak with our team last week for 1 hour, and I got the email last night from administration, and we told them in walk through, shoot around, as well as before the game, it's going to be called tight. And they called it tight both sides. I think we went 30-something, they went 30-something. But I mean, especially early in the year, coming off of a year where things got really physical last year. But that's the same on both sides, and we just could not figure it out defensively. I mean, we played man, we played zone, we pressed, we didn't press. We switched the ball screen, we hard edged the ball screen, we went under the ball screen. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's all about how you're doing it, and we didn't do things the right way tonight.
Do you like that 3-point clip? I mean, just shooting that much from out there, you have some.
Well, it depends. You know, like, we do not like the ones where we come down and don't reverse the ball and shoot a 3. We don't like those. We don't like the ones that we haven't, you know, okay, so we can lay it in almost every time. So there's a lot that I'm going to go back and watch and not like today, because we can lay it in almost every time. So it just depends on who you're playing. And tonight, I'm not a big fan of how many threes that we took, and I'm not a fan of the individuals that took them. And that's me. So you know, I've got to rein things in a lot better than what I have leading up to tonight. And I've got to do. I did not do a good job today as a coach.
Can you talk about Clay and Manette and their play, first games for the Bears?
I thought they had a great, you know, spirit about them. I thought they really, you can see that they fit in. It's not like they were trying to figure out their niche there. But it'll take some time for it to be a little more fluid and second nature, some of the things, the terminology and things like that. But I thought those two guys were fantastic, and even from a statistical standpoint, you know, Donnie was 8 of 10 from the floor. He had 20 points. He probably could rebound it better. Jalen was 4 of 9 from 3. I mean, that's what they are. So now defensively, I'll go back and watch. I know that we really struggled to guard the ball in some assignments and things like that, but I thought overall they were okay. I mean, but our group today, we were a group today, not a team today. We were just a group, and that's me.
What was Keaton's start?
Oh, he's in concussion protocol.
Okay.
So he won't be back until Thursday. He'll play on Saturday, but he got a concussion last week.
You mentioned your team didn't play the right way defensively. Do you think this group was capable of getting to that point?
Yeah, I do. I think they can definitely get there. But it's going to take a more concentrated effort. It's going to take a clearer message from me, and then a concentrated effort from them.
I hate to bring 2 years ago up, but just opening night, it kind of had a disappointing loss and kind of set the tone for really the rest of the year. Just kind of, what is it about this group that gives you the confidence that that's not going to happen, it's going to get better from here?
Well, it's just a lot of different people. I mean, everything's about people. Yeah, I'm not thinking about 2 years ago. I mean, that's a long time ago. 2 years is a long time. We have a totally different team. Whether we won tonight or lost tonight, I'm not thinking about 2 years. That was pre-COVID. I'm not thinking. I don't think our players. I don't even know who's in the locker room that was here 2 years ago. Maybe a couple guys, Mosley and Prim, Jamonte, maybe. But I'm not sure if anybody else was. So,
What do you need Isaiah to do? I mean, he went over 4 3-point line. He had 16 points, but what do you need to see from him?
well, you know, we know Isaiah's a good player, and he's going to do good things. I'll have to watch the tape tonight to really evaluate it. I know he dealt with foul trouble tonight, so he was kind of in and out a little bit. But he's got to be aggressive. He's got to be vocal. I think he took care of the basketball tonight, if my memory serves me. We only turned it over 7 times, and Mosley only had 1. He was 5 of 10 from the floor. He didn't make threes, right? But he's 50% from the floor, 100 from the free throw line. All of our players need to defend better, and that's me. This whole thing was, they just, you know, I did not do my job today. I've got to get these guys, I've got to do a better job. Yeah, so, but Mosley needs to stay bought in and continue to develop and grow and keep chopping wood.